So why did I decide to create this channel? The main reason is that I want to give tools to young filmmakers and experienced filmmakers in order to learn how to free yourself from all the fluff that you hear all over the place. Because making films is not easy at all. You can read in books or watch tutorials how to make films in a technical manner, but my philosophy in making films is about telling stories. And to tell stories, that's something which is part of our DNA as human beings. My story started in the early 80s, where I was born in Egypt, to Egyptian parents. But you ask yourself, why did my parents give me this funny sounding name? There's just a reason behind it. It's a very simple one. Okay, it's my great-grandfather who came from Slovenia. And Slovenia back then was part of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire. And it was a very common name. My parents, they gave me that name without knowing that in Europe there was someone else who carried the same name. And it's actually a beautiful name. Adolf means the noble wolf. That means it's a leader, someone people look up to. I don't want to talk about this leader that people know about, that was in Germany for a few years, but I'm talking really about someone who leads. And for me as a person, I was always someone who always wanted to create things and to lead and to be an inspiration for people. Being the oldest of 6 children, so storytelling was something that kept us, I don't want to say alive, but kept us somehow together. Because I was starting making films using our father's VHS camera in this new country called Luxembourg, where I moved in at the age of 6. So I had to adapt myself very quickly, because it was a time where I had to go to school. So I had to learn different languages to adapt myself to the weather, to the culture, to the people. And all this has shaped me. And as well, being the only Arab in town, so I had a lot of issues with my identity. Okay, so with identity, like first from my name, and then to my nationality, to now to this new country, all of this has made me who I am today. And everyone has his own story to tell. And that's the reason, as filmmakers, it's very important to be as true as possible to yourself. So we experience so many things, and it's very hard sometimes to deal with them. I discovered cinema actually quite late. The first time I went to cinema, I was like 22 years old. I saw this French film in black and white called La Haine. This film has inspired me so much because I could relate to the story and to the characters. When I tell people that I come from Luxembourg, they all think that I had a stable life, that it's a safe country, that everyone has money, and so on. Those are things I never experienced as a child growing up in that society. When I tell you that this film La Haine has inspired me, is that I could relate so much to the characters. Because in Luxembourg, I had a very, very similar experience like in the film. Yeah, I grew up in a very, very tough neighborhood. Most of my friends were either drug dealers or in prison or dead. I saw people getting shot in front of me. And if I tell this to people, they will never believe me. Because Luxembourg is always this nice and shiny, sugar-coating way of promoting themselves. And when I was telling this, like for example, to my teachers or any other people at school, no one believed me. So that's why my only way to express myself is to become a filmmaker. Because filmmaking is a tool that can be extremely, extremely, extremely powerful. Because you can change the world, you can change people's perceptions, you can change yourself. In my case, like I decided to make films about what I know the most. So I started making films about Luxembourg. The first film I've ever made was a short documentary on hip-hop culture in Luxembourg. Hip-hop is such an interesting subculture because it has so many elements. Because it goes from rapping, DJing, breakdancing, sampling, graffiti, and so on. Because all those elements, they come together, it's like making a film. Because to make a film, you need as well so many ingredients. And that's what has fascinated me so much. Myself, being a DJ in the 90s, I was always fascinated by this hip-hop culture. Because we could create our own little thing, because this new subculture that emerged from the late 70s all the way today, it became something where so many things mix together. And that comes back to my own identity as being someone with a heritage that is so mixed. And to become a storyteller, as I said, it's very important to be as true as possible to yourself. So I really hope that my story inspires you a little bit, because we all have so many stories to tell. And I really want the best for you, so you can tell your stories as well. So that's it for today. And do not hesitate to like, to subscribe, and to share my content. Follow me, because every week I will be posting new content.